Yeah, APC, Kano APC voiced Ganduje suspension, sanctions world leaders. Can you imagine? So, as we know, the APC in Kano State at state level, they are now cracking down on the world leaders that suspended Ganduje. And they are trying to avoid Ganduje's suspension at state level. What do you mean? If the ward says he's suspended, the state has no option. That is truth. And if the ward chooses to sue state to court, I tell you they can win that. Okay, so it means that there will be very big crisis now in that ward and in Kano State over APC decision on Ganduje's suspension. So Kano APC voiced that suspension, and they are now trying to crack down or place sanctions on the ward leaders. Leaders in Ganduje's ward in Dawaki Tufa local government area on Monday suspended the APC national chairman. However, in a quick counter or twist of events, the party's local government officials thwarted the suspension and sacked those behind it. Wow, this is serious. So the state working committee of the Kano chapter of the APC has sanctioned some ward party leaders who earlier suspended the national chairman of the party, Umar Abdullahi Ganduje. Oh boy. So leaders in Ganduje's ward in Dawaki Tufa local government area on Monday suspended the APC national chairman. However, in a quick counter and turn of events, the party's local government officials thwarted the suspension and sacked those behind it. So the APC Dawaki Tufa local government area chairman, Inusa Dawanau, told newsmen that those behind the suspension of national chairman were caught in anti-party activities, adding that their records of meetings with the opposition were exposed. Oh, they had meetings with opposition, and that must be basically NNPP. Adopting the suspension of the ward APC leaders, the state working committee of the party said they have sanctioned the perpetrators for 6 months, saying that a special investigation panel has been set up to verify several allegations against them. So the Kano APC chairman, Abdullahi Abbas, said the decision of the local government party leaders have since been adopted. So it is said we have evidence of meetings between the state government officials and those that suspended the national chairman. Okay, so the state working committee has agreed to sanction them for 6 months and they stand now suspended. However, one of the accused party men against Ganduje, Haliru Gwanjo, said they decided to suspend him from the party due to the allegations leveled against him by the Kano state government on bribery. Can you imagine? So what is happening now is that the local government chairman and the local government authority has, overridden the ward's decision, and the the state working committee of APC in Kano has adopted the position of the local government chairman in suspending and overriding the suspension of Ganduje by the ward and sanctioning those behind it at the ward level. Wow. Even though Haliru Gwanjo, the leader at the ward level, has given reasons why Ganduje was suspended by the ward, but now the local government and the state levels of APC have overridden that suspension and are already swung into action. So it means that the suspension of Ganduje still is null and void by the local government and the state government. I'm sorry, local government, APC, and the state working committee of the APC. I know that Kano state government is probably working this. Now the allegation is that Kano state government had a secret meeting with the ward leadership of APC or the ward leaders of APC to do this, and they have exposed the report or the letter that came from that meeting. And so it is obvious that the suspension was cooked up by the state government, which is under NNPP leadership, and the ward leaders of APC. This was serious. So it means that the suspension of Ganduje has been countered by the local government and the local government APC level and the state working committee of APC. This one is serious. Okay, there are a few comments here. Somebody said they suspended Ganduje and you sacked them. No problem. But don't forget that the suspension came before the sack, and that means that the suspension subsists. Importantly, suspension has more power when it comes from the ward, just like party membership. Exactly the same thing I said earlier. The ward level is under the state, and the state has annulled their action and suspended them instead. Ganduje's suspension is longer standing. Okay, it's annulled by, it's no longer standing. Okay, and it's annulled by the higher power. Now, wow, this one is battle of the court. Another big crack in APC. There are some APC members who want this to happen, and they will capitalize on it. As far as it starts from ward level, and they are rigid members of the APC, it is subject of reference to other similar cases that happened within and outside the party. Exactly. And somebody say, what you just did is suspension raised to power 2. Ganduje's suspension stands. Only the court can decide, because every suspension comes from the ward level and they have their reasons. Exactly. So have you guys annulled the suspension? They cannot. They cannot. Very funny question. The man lost credibility, dignity, and respect with that dollar incident. Of course. Of course. Show me one person with dignity and integrity in the entire APC. There's actually nobody. The sanctions against the executive members of Ganduje's ward that suspended him nullify his Ganduje suspension? It does not. That is a very big question now. Somebody is saying that the higher power comes from the local government and the state level of APC. Therefore, they will have overridden the suspension. But then by law and by Electoral Act, everything must come from the ward level. So the ward level seems to be more powerful by the law. So I don't know how this is going to be challenged, but it's a serious matter. Somebody said those who suspended him at the ward level should have been persuaded to lift the suspension rather than sacking them. Exactly, because even if you sack them, the suspension still stands. Rather than sacking them, it is only the court that can nullify the suspension. Same thing happened to Shomole, Secondus, and Ayu. So their removal happened at the ward level. So this is a very serious matter now that is happening to APC from the ward level, and is going to hook them. So the local government and state chapters of the APC did not learn any lesson from the previous cases. Too bad. They are blockheads, not a lie. They are blockheads. They are very, very blockheads. So that is what is happening. Even though the ward level, they have suspended Ganduje, the local government and the state level of APC suspended those people for 6 months and then tried to override the suspension. But without work, in fact, that has to be interpreted in the law court. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comments.